DC Vigilante here. I was actually meant to include this in one of my previous videos, but I've probably, just like normal, a rabbit on. And what it is I feel vindicated now. I feel like, yeah, some of my beliefs are coming through. Um, I made a couple videos back, way back, and it was about Black Panther and uh, and why I believe it shouldn't deserve an Oscar because it's just a normal film. It's just um, and the fact that we shouldn't sort of be racist by giving it an award just because it's black. That shouldn't be. It was just an okay film. Now some people would have took that the wrong way, and I've always said that this is how much power do these companies have in order to try to, because Kevin Feige himself says Black Panther deserves an Oscar. And when we look into these ceremonies, these acts, you suddenly realise how much money is pumped into a movie once it's won an award. Right? And it speaks volumes, and it's probably it's like a success notch in the film studios bedpost. Uh, and I've often thought, that DC has never ventured that way. Has not tried to claim that this should win an award. It only seems to be Disney. Now, I don't want to jump on the bandwagon and start hating Disney, but in the last couple of years, they have been. They've been trying to say Black Panther needs an Oscar. Captain Marvel is the most, is the superhero that you all deserve, and it should win an award because it's doing so much for women and everyone's gender and stuff like that. And then you look at what's been happening with Rotten Tomatoes and Fandango and stuff like that, is they've got their fingers in all the pies, and they're trying to buy. I mean, okay, some people will say it's a myth with all these empty cinema stories, right? But I believe that there's got to be some hint of truth to it. Now, you could say it's because the film is on so many screens, and not everybody can go and see these films on a given day. But with a film like Captain Marvel that is meant to be a lead up to the big end game or whatever, you would think that these sort of stories wouldn't even be thought about, because everybody seems to love bloody Marvel movies. But there's a hint of truth to would studios buy cinema tickets? Would they, in order to pump up the interest of the film? And of course they would. They would pump it up, and same as critics, and same as the 5 stars or 4 stars or 3 stars that you see on DVD covers. It's in order to entice you to go and see this film. So if they can do it with all their wee multimedia platforms that they have under the belt, or like Fandango and stuff like that, and stuff, then yeah, no doubt. And all this, and there's a guy I'm going to put a link to who's said what I've been feeling for the last year, a couple of years since I've been defending DC, is that there is something or someone out there that is totally against DC doing well. All this stuff about how they would want DC to do well because that means Marvel would do well, then I'm sorry, because some of the unbiased reviews that these films have got doesn't prove that point. They're out to basically shove their movies in your face, make them the winning. Don't start thinking about BVS needing an Oscar or for the great sort of storytelling. Don't start thinking, one studio sort of getting their media sites to go and attack this film might mean that there's more appraisal for Civil War that seems to have happened shortly because BVS was out, or BVS was getting made, so that made them do Civil War. So how can we pump up Civil War to beat BVS? It's a competition. Corporate and businesses do it all the time. So in order for one to be the winner, the other one must be brought down in some way. And that really is your civil war between film companies. This guy, I'm leaving it at the top, will say it all. I just feel now that the DC movies have been targeted for a long time, and if only they came out first, then we would have had a fighting chance. Check him out. This is DC Vigilante. This is mine and this guy's truth.